But isn't this the risk that Democrats took? Because oftentimes Democrats have been defending the role of the government, and Republicans, I mean, in the past, Democrats have said policy is not a reason to shut down the government. A policy fight is not a reason to do it. Why is it different now?
This is not a policy fight. This is a healthcare crisis.
But that fundamentally is a fight over.
Yeah, but we are going to see people die in this country because they're not able to provide health care for themselves and for their families. I think that is a worthy fight for us to be in.
People are angry. So why is Hakeem Jeffries talking like he's Chuck E. Cheese Obama? Okay? What are we doing? What are we doing? Come on, man. Come on. Clearly, the Democrats don't have the leaders they need to meet the moment.
He says Democrats don't have the leaders they need to meet the moment. Is he right?
We have leaders. The problem is the leaders on the Republican side are refusing to meet with our leaders. You cannot have a government that functions without there being leaders having a conversation. That is where the core of the problem is. We have always ended a shutdown because we realized that it was important for us to sit with our Republican counterparts, because ultimately we were the ones that were in charge. Now you have the Republicans who are in charge thumbing their nose at the American people and saying, I don't want to sit down with the Democrats. I don't want to negotiate with them. I don't want to find a common ground. And that is the biggest problem here.
Hakeem Jeffries, your leader, has, somewhat reluctantly, but has endorsed Zohran Mamdani. Chuck Schumer still has not. Why do you think Chuck Schumer has not endorsed Zohran Mamdani?
I really don't know. It makes no sense. We as Democrats have always believed that in an election, we support our party's nominee. Schumer has pressured other Democrats to do just that, and he should be following his own advice.
Do you think religion plays a role at all?
Well, the tsunami of the anti-Muslim attacks that we are seeing is deeply concerning. And I would hope that the Democratic leader in the Senate would recognize that and would offer support, not just to Mamdani, but the million Muslims who live in New York City and the millions who live in New York.
What do you say to people who believe that Zohran Mamdani's the pace at which he discussed condemning the phrase globalize the intifada is anti-Semitic, the pace at which he did that?
Well, everything he does or says seems to be called anti-Semitic. What I do know is that he has support from broad coalition of New Yorkers. He's got a huge coalition of Jewish voters that are supporting him. He's got a huge coalition of Muslims of every sect. He's got a huge coalition of young people who are supporting him. And the reason they are supporting him is not just because he's an exciting candidate to support. It's because he took the time to listen where the policy pains were for New Yorkers, and he's offering a solution for them. They see hope in the kind of progress that he could create for New Yorkers.
One Democrat who has campaigned for and endorsed him is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Would you like to see her primary Chuck Schumer?
I would like Alex to do whatever it is that Alex wants, and I'll be there to support her.
All right. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, thank you very much for being here. Really appreciate your time. One of the Senate Democrats who's been voting with Republicans to end the shutdown, giving yet another stern message to his party.
Schumer said this gets better politically every day for Democrats. What do you say to that?
Yeah, well, ask the hungry people on Saturday. You know, it's like, that's the thing. You know, Americans are not leverage. This is not some shitty game show about who's winning or whatever. It's just like we have to be better than this.
I want to play a little bit of Americans who are facing down this weekend, looking at the prospect of losing access to the food assistance they rely on. Let's watch.
It won't stretch. It doesn't. So we'll pull from other parts of our budget. And that means my kids will go without.
Very concerned. I don't know what I'm going to do. I know you can go to food pantries and stuff, but it's going to be so out of control. I mean, you might be standing there 5-6 hours to get any food.
It would be a matter of, do we eat or do we pay rent? And right now, the way things are going, it looks like you know what? Let's just pay rent.
Congressman, the reality is Democrats in the Senate could choose to vote with Republicans to reopen the government and help these people. Why not?
Well, that reality means that we are going to risk a healthcare crisis. We have 22 million Americans who are going to see their health subsidies skyrocket. I have constituents, in Minnesota. One person, an individual, is going to see their premiums go up 25%. That could mean about $1,500. Small business owners are going to see it about 14% going up. Look, we all understand how devastating the shutdown is. That's why we've been here in Washington, D.C., begging our Republican counterparts to come to the table to negotiate with us, at least to have a conversation. You heard J.D. Vance say that he is inviting Democrats. That invitation should have happened from day one. I have never seen Congress be in recess while the government is shut down. The president traveling abroad while the government is shut down. When we have had government shutdowns, everybody has worked urgently throughout the day and night.